Hey all, Hipper here. So today we are again, directing the flashlight at Battleship players in World of Warships Legends, because honestly, most of the Battleship players in this game, and probably this Destroyer player as well, should go and practice a lot more at the lower tiers before, getting started on tier 7, tier 8 and legendary tier. And I don't even know how to begin, but as you can tell over here on the A flank, like, we are getting this cap here, that's fairly certain. And also, have a look at this Destroyer here in a minute. Well, actually now he's getting radared by the Stalingrad, and then he proceeds to smoke up. If you play up at this tier here and you don't realize yet that smoking up does not protect you against radar, that is like a massive fail, and that's why I'm shooting at him. I'm like, oh my god, like, what are you doing? So if you look a bit behind the Destroyer here, we have a nice lemming train about to move into the A-cap, and that is also just a scourge of the battleships in this game here. Like, many battleships in one spot is bad, very, very bad. Many battleships spread across the map is good. Good thing. Yes, you do. So my job here is done. The cap is taken, and there's plenty of ships over here. And I'm just trying to, say, hey, how about, giving some thought to the other caps? And then I see how many ships are just, steaming into this cap with no purpose in here. The cap has been taken. There is no Destroyer over here, so all they have to do is take up some nice positions that, grants them the ability to see the enemies and shoot at them. That's it. There is no need to rush into this cap here, all of them at once. And that's why I'm like, okay, I am going to put this lemming train behind me, because my efforts are better spent at the B or C cap, which we don't have yet. The B is a little bit too dangerous because there's no support at all there, and there's really not any cover inside the cap either. So I'm going to have to, pretty much retreat all the way over to the C cap. Because as you can tell, the main of the Red's forces are over there. So that's where this battle is going to be won or lost. And the majority of our forces is over at A. And as usual, they're probably going to totally waste the opportunity, and not realizing that having that many ships on one flank means that you have to break through. There's no excuse, you have to break through. If you don't break through, we will lose. So it puts a lot of pressure on people who play like that. And I'm sure they don't realize it, because so many people in this game obviously don't realize anything. They're completely oblivious to what is the purpose of their ship, what is the layout of the map, how does the mechanics of the game work, how do I sink a ship, how do I use my smoke, should I use my sonar right when I spawn? That's a no, by the way. And I don't know. It's just it's absolutely it's incredible, really, how many people play up at tier 7, tier 8, and legendary tier who still don't understand the absolute basics of the game, and who are just absolute detriments to their team, and are, pretty much like the reason that this game here can be so infuriating at times. So here I'm just putting some pressure on this Stalingrad here, and like, he does the wrong thing. He pushes out. He should have just been sitting there, just kept bow tanking me. But people succumb to a little bit of pressure, and at least that gets the Stalingrad out in the open, to so the lemming train can deal with it, hopefully, because they're not doing too well. There goes the Iwama, beautiful. So anyway, we're going to head over to the C cap, because again there's pushing going on over there. And if the Reds are allowed to push through on that flank, we're going to get absolutely annihilated. Because we have the whole lemming train over on the A flank, and we don't have any presence at B, and it's just a nightmare. So the reason, legendary tier and tier 7 and tier 8 is here is because it requires a little bit more than being able to just sail the ships. There's a lot more of tactical considerations to be made, and you have to have a very good knowledge of the game as a whole, really. All the little nitty-gritty details that you have to know in those in these situations up here at the higher tiers. Like, no one's gonna complain at tier 5, tier 6, and below that. But once you enter tier 7, and you don't grasp the basics, I hope you get so much hate mail that your mailbox succumbs to it, because it's really there's no excuse. Like it's just poor play. So I'm going to try my best to stop the onslaught over on this flank here, because if the Reds break through here, like one, they're going to get a cap, but more importantly, they're going to be able to flank everyone on my team. So this is paramount. We're going to have to stop them here, and this really shouldn't be my job. I'm a Minotaur, not exactly the most tanky ship in the world, but I have no choice here. Keeping these red ships stalled here for at least a bit will allow at least some of my blue ships to get into better positions and hopefully pummel them to death. But I know it's wishful thinking here. So the main is almost behind the island, but we're going to chance it because we cannot risk that Kronstadt coming out and being able to crossfire me. We have to get in and stop these guys here moving forward immediately. There's no two ways about it. And these are the situations that you will have to be able to recognize when you're playing at the higher tiers. Like every single battleship in this game here on my team, they haven't got a clue. They don't understand anything about what's going on. And they also, as you'll see later, primarily shoot HE and like lemming train it. And they do everything that you're not supposed to do in a battleship. And it doesn't really matter what, a couple of good players then try to do on the team, because myself and the Stalingrad, we're doing our best here, but when not a single of the battleships want to play ball, it's very hard to do anything. And it's not because we are up against a very good red team here or anything like that. It's just because that we simply just have more 3-digit players than the red team does. So what we got to do now to win is for me to hold this cap while someone grabs the B cap, because we are ahead on points and we want to keep it that way. And the only way of doing that is to grab the B cap and get enough tickets and then just survive the last 6 minutes or so by keeping these red ships here just bundled up here behind the island, because none of them wants to rush, because I do have torpedoes and the first one around the corner is going to die. So I mean, they're going to get me. It's just a matter of time. But I'm taking one for the team here in keeping them away as long as I possibly can. And at the same time, I have my sonar on. I'm keeping them all spotted. Like, someone should be able to get a good shot from somewhere. But there is not a lot going on. And that's again down to bad positioning. You can see the battleship up in the top. He's sitting bow on into an island with 5 minutes left in the game. I mean, why are you doing that? What are you doing that for? How is that beneficial in any way? What is the point? What are you doing? So the Kronstadt has moved out, and because he's bow on, I'm having a hard time doing anything to him. And obviously someone is going to, come around the other side of this island here at some point, because he's got my attention, and I don't have my sonar anymore, so I don't know what's going on. So it's just a matter of time before someone, comes around and either torps me or citadels me out of this game here. And the destroyer got, interrupted in taking B, so this game here is a loss. So we gambled, we tried to carry the lemming train battleships here, but sometimes it's just impossible. Like, you can lead a horse to water, but it's up to the horse to drink, right? And in this case here, the horse, I don't know, it wasn't thirsty. So I don't get it right there, very annoying, and no less than 2 ships making a move here. So we just fire torps, and then of course we're going to get taken out, and that's just the way it is. And there's only 1 battleship left versus 6 red ships. So we just removed 1 of them, but like, really? And we don't. it's just sometimes this game here is just ridiculous. So that brings me to the next problem with battleships, and it's like the battleship left here, because I mean, the dude is probably thinking, oh yeah, I'm the last left, I must have played really well and done everything I could, but actually if you look back in this video, all he did was go very, very wide around the A cap. I don't think he's hit anyone at any point in the game. And, you know, this game was lost a long time ago. And he didn't have any influence at all. He didn't do anything to influence the outcome of the battle, other than, you know, making sure we lose. So, but again, he's probably gonna go back and say, "Oh, my team was terrible, and I was the last one alive, and I had to fire my HE shells here, all by myself." And in the end, I'm not gonna say he is the reason we lost, but he played a huge part in it. So have a look here. So the Stalingrad and myself actually equal on XP, and every single battleship is a 3-digit player. So yeah, do I have to underline this anymore? I don't think so. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. See you out there.